Hello friends, welcome to the channel Physics by IITians. So today I will discuss the optics questions and its theory regarding the questions. So please watch the full video, and we have an announcement that thank you friends for your support that we crossed 1k subscriber, 1000 subscriber, and also we are hoping that we will do better, and hopefully we have some Telegram channel. Please join that Telegram channel Physics by IITians official. In that page we are thinking that we shall post questions in the morning and we shall discuss the questions at the afternoon in our videos, and those people who are solving those questions and post the answers, we will take their names. So hopefully our Telegram channel will be so much interactive that I am waiting for your response. So let's start. So the topic is optics, and optics means you have to know the theory also, okay, because in many videos that they are only discussing about how to solve the problems and they are giving you the related formulas, and you are somehow mugging up the formulas and doing the questions. But this is very wrong, because if you face some unknown questions, you know only the formulas, you don't understand the theory. How can you do that? So to be prepared in a right way, I think the theory as well as the questions should be solved simultaneously. So that's why I shall first discuss the theory part and then I will discuss the questions. So optics I will entirely, today I will cover the Huygens wave theory and the interference and the diffractions. Earlier I already covered polarization, so please watch the videos. Please watch the theory portion as well as solve the problems. The problem has already been solved, so please watch that. Now let's start. Before starting any topic, we should have some good motivation. So for the motivation, we should know some of the history of that literature. So I am telling you the history of optics. So first, Newton's, he has in his mind that the corpuscular theory of light. Corpuscular theory means the stream of particles. I mean, scientists thought that the light should be wave or particle. What is light? What is optics? So then in 1621 Snell gave his law, that is Snell's law, and it is an empirical law. At that time it was not a proven law. So he just empirically gave the law, which was given at 1621 in the 16th century. Then the Huygens wave theory come. Okay, so before that, Snell's law was established by someone who is Descartes. He proved Snell's law using the corpuscular theory of light, which was given by Newton. But corpuscular theory was the stream of particles, means the particle nature. Huygens wave theory come and the wave nature of light. He gave us the wave theory of light. Then Young's had did his experiment, and the famous experiment, that is Young double slit experiment, and the wave theory is established. Then till that is 1807, till that scientists didn't know that. They had some idea, okay, light is a wave, but they don't know which kind of wave is it, okay. Then Maxwell came to the field and he gave that the light is an electromagnetic wave. So he gave his famous electromagnetic theory. Then some of the at that time, that is 1864, that era, the electromagnetic theory was quite established. Then 1900-1905, Max Planck gave his photon theory to describe the black body radiation. So again the theory that was like stream of particles, which was given by Newton, that was established by Max Planck again, and this is the quantum theory of light, and it was established in 1905. Then photoelectric effect, Compton effect were described by this theory. Then present day, the light has dual nature, the photon or particle nature, as well as the wave nature. So dual nature of light. Now let's start with Huygens principle. So Huygens principle, according to Huygens, this is a very important question in interview. I was asked in IIT Delhi that what is Huygens principle. So according to Huygens, all points on a wavefront act like point sources that give out secondary wavelets. Okay. So suppose you have a wavefront. Okay. So wavefront is consisting of infinite number of points. So Huygens considered that each and every point on that wavefront is a source of the secondary wavelets, and the new wavefront at a later time, suppose the earlier time is t and the t plus delta t is the later time. So at a later time, delta t is the envelope tangent to all the secondary wavelets. So how to draw the wavefronts? So you take, suppose this is our wavefront, you take little points, say point to points. You can take infinite number of points. So I take the 3 points, and then these are the points that will give us the secondary wavelets. How to generate the secondary wavefront? You make a radius of the order of lambda, and then you draw the spherical waves, and you draw the tangent. So this tangent, this is the tangent that is the tangent to the envelope. This is the envelope tangent, which is the secondary wavefront, or which is the secondary wavelet. And the amplitude, that is, there will be no backward traveling of the wave, it will only travel forward. So the amplitude will increase only in the forward direction. Okay. So according to Huygens, that all spheric points in the wavefront act like point sources, and those point sources will give you the secondary wavelets, and the new wavefront at a later time, delta t, is the envelope that is tangent to all the secondary wavelets. This is important, that you have to draw a tangent which is tangent to all the secondary wavelets. The teachers, if you don't mention that they are the tangent, the teacher will not be satisfied from your answer. So you have to answer that this should be the tangent to these wavelets. Okay. Now let's come to the interference. So the interference, that whenever the two light waves, monochromatic light waves, they will interfere constructively if they have the phase difference, that is the multiple of m into lambda, that is if the phase difference is delta phi. Hopefully you all know about interference, constructive interference, destructive interference. So I don't go to the brief discussion on that. I just remind you that the formula for the constructive interference should be the path difference, or the phase between them should be phase difference between them should be m lambda, and for this is the condition for the constructive interference. For destructive interference, this should be m plus half of lambda. So how to remember this? Don't mug up, okay? You have to remember like this way. So let me erase this portion. Suppose you have a source, and then you make two holes. This is okay. So from this, this will be the sources of spherical wavefronts, and this will be the sources of spherical wavefronts. So this will interfere. Okay. They can interfere constructively as well as destructively. How do you decide that is it constructive or destructive interference? Suppose I am taking this is a screen, and this is the point P. So suppose this is wave, this is S1 point, this is S2 point. So S1P is the path for this ray, and S2P is the path for the second ray. Okay. So this two is the path difference, and if that S1P minus S2P, or S2P, this is S2P is greater, so S2P minus S1P is equals to m lambda. Then you get constructive interference, means the crust of the wave first wave will also be the crust of the second wave. So this is the portion that at point P both have the crust, and the destructive means the trough of the wave, first wave, is coinciding with the trough of the second wave. Okay. So you have to understand it like this. So you will get here a constructive interference or bright fringe, and if the trough of the first wave is interfering with the trough of the second wave, you will get destructive interference, so you will get a dark fringe there. So at Young double slit experiment, Young did his double slit experiment first from the sunlight, later he did it the sodium lamp. Okay, so I don't write the theories. From his experiment we get the intensity I equals to I1 plus I2 plus 2 root over I1 I2 cos delta, where I1 I2 are the intensities of the two lights which are interfering, and delta is the phase difference between the two light waves. Now I have also already told that if delta equals to 0 plus minus 2 pi plus minus 4 pi, we will get constructive interference. If delta equals to plus minus pi plus minus 3 pi, we will get destructive interference. So Imax, that is root over I1 plus root over I2 whole square, that is the maximum intensity or bright fringe, and Imin will be root over I1 minus root over I2 whole square, that is the dark fringe. Now if we have to instead to plot, so from here you get that I naught, the maximum intensity of the light will be 4 I naught, and it will be a sinusoidal like variation. So this is cos per delta like variation. So at 0 this is 1, and you will get cosine like variation. Okay, and this is alternatively constructive destructive interference pattern. So this is dark bright bright dark like pattern. So now the path difference is, for this case, suppose this is the difference, this distance is d, okay, and this is the two sources, that is S1 S2, the spacing between the sources is d, small d, and from source to the screen the distance is capital D, and this is R1, this is R2. So the phase difference will be 2 pi by lambda into path difference. You have to remember that the path difference equals to or you can write it that phase difference equals to 2 pi by lambda into path difference. Okay, you have to remember this formula. This is a very important formula, and also you have to remember that the optical path traveled by light is equals to not only d, optical path is n into d, and n is the refractive index of the medium and d is the distance covered by the light. Okay, so this is the optical path. So whenever you are considering phase difference, you have to take the optical path difference, not only the path difference. Usually here we are taking n as 1, that's why we don't, in air, so that's why we take n equals to 1, so we don't write the term n. Okay, so whenever you calculate what will be the fringe shift, what will be the beta, that is fringe width, so you will get the value that beta, the fringe width for the young double slit, will be beta equals to d into capital D, that is the distance between source and the screen, into lambda, that is the wavelength that has been used, divided by n into d. This small d is the distance between the two sources. Okay, and thickness, if somehow there is a in between the two paths, the small thickness T of some medium has been introduced. What will be the fringe shift? Because earlier the central fringe that will be at this position, that is 0th position. Suppose this is the middle position, that is 0th position, and due to this introduction of a small another sheet of T with different refractive index, the fringe position will be shifted. So if you are to calculate that what will be the thickness of the sheet, the T will be x into d divided by capital D into mu minus 1, where mu is the refractive index of this sheet. Now we will discuss some questions from the previous year. So friends, interference ki I have discussed the theories or regarding the interference. In next video I will discuss the questions from JEST. Thank you.